Well, that was a watch party. We compare anime adaptations of Otome Games and see who did the better job. Let's hope the anime won't be left as void of points, as my crisp package is void of crisps now. Because transferring a story from one medium to the other is a difficult task, and otherwise the anime wouldn't even stand a chance against the Otome Games. I will give a point to the anime if it's not horrendously bad and kind of an okay standalone anime. Shobishiro! And the first way to adapt an Otome game as an anime is to go for a harem anime, or just following multiple routes in one anime. Like for example Amnesia did. In Amnesia you suddenly wake up without memories and together with the allies have to recover your past and find out what has happened to you. That was probably the first anime based on an Otome game I've ever watched, and I deeply regret it. It totally spoiled the game for me, be it the revelations or most important moments with some characters, or the absolutely unlikable, has no character whatsoever heroine. In the anime you romance every guy in a few episodes, which is totally rushed and makes no sense at all. The ending is sudden and confusing, so without further thinking about it, this point goes to the game. First, it's really great and eerie and unlike many other games, so do yourself a favor and play the game before you watch the anime. Also, a harem approach has Diabolik lovers. In Diabolik lovers you end up living together with sadistic vampires, who all want to suck your blood. The anime adaptation of Diabolik lovers is quite short, and that naturally causes a non-existing plot and no relationship built up during too few screen time. In the game, Yui is at least a bit more fleshed out due to her inner monologue, and the characters' more tragic backgrounds are revealed. So there are more stories of the boys that give them something more than just their still sadistic character. Points for the game. In Utano Prince-sama, you are an aspiring songwriter and work together with the allies to fulfill your university assignments. The Utano Prince-sama anime has 4 seasons, but despite this length, no relationship is formed, but rather you get some more bromance elements, and it's only hinted at romantic feelings from the guys. But that's it. I would say the anime focuses more on the idol side. The games also focus on the idol and working hard to achieve one's goals side, but still you get a lot of cute and fluffy romance paired with minigames. Point for the game. In Brothers Conflict you kind of start having a patchwork family and move in with your new, not blood-related brothers. I think you can describe the Brothers Conflict anime as a very classical harem anime. And if that wasn't annoying enough, the heroine is totally watered down and has no personality whatsoever. Again, you only spend a few episodes with the allies, but the heroine never seems as if she would reciprocate any of their feelings. Disappointing, if you ask me. And though I wouldn't like the time management and dating sim gameplay in the game, and at least you can properly romance the guys. So, point for the game. Starry Sky is a high school romance where you romance one boy for each star constellation. So in total there are 12 boys in 4 games, so 3 boys for each game in spring, summer, autumn and winter. The Starry Sky anime tries to squeeze 4 games into 6 hours of anime. Yes, good luck with that. So you get to spend 20 minutes with each character. The romance is quite short and cheesy, and can be more seen like an introduction to the game without any plot. The only good point the anime has is that it continues to focus on the star constellations of the boys, what's a major theme in the games, and the heroine is voiced and has face, which she apparently didn't have in the original PSP version, but in the PS Vita version they added that. The games are known for fluffy romance and are quite popular, so point for the games. The last harem-like game is probably a bit more unknown, and it's called La Storia della Arcana Famiglia. And it's like Otome meets shonen kind of vibe, and I love it. Quite unexpectedly. It's about a family who protects the city by receiving powers from different arcanas, like you would know from Persona. And as the head of the family retires, there's to be a competition for the successor, who also will win the MC's hand in marriage. Not wanting to accept her fate, the heroine starts fighting for herself alongside other supportive members of this clan. In the game, you have map battles and conversations that are displayed in a manga-like style. And with your power of the Lover's Arcana, you can look into people's heart during the conversations. This game looks so unique and also has an FD, and I want to buy it now. So as much as I enjoyed the anime, it was cute and funny and somehow not annoying, even though I generally don't like harem animes. And with a strong heroine fighting for her freedom, I am still more interested in the game now. So following the rules, I should actually give the anime the point, because it is a good standalone anime and I liked it more than I thought I would. But I'd still at the same time want to vote for the game because it seems way too unique and I just want to play it now. Sorry. Thanks to one of my viewers, Purple Rose, for bringing this unique game and anime to my attention. Our harem anime score is 6-0 in favor of the games. That looks super bad for the anime. Let's see how it goes in the next section. Anime that focus on one true root, like kind of Kamigami no Asobi does. In Kamigami no Asobi, Zeus summons you to teach other gods about love. The anime focus on the gods of the first game and Baldur's root, if I'm not mistaken. Overall, it's very slice of life and definitely is less romantic than the game, considering there's no set couple in the end. But as a standalone anime, it still does a decent job. And I know some people who also like the anime despite having played the game. And even for me, watching the anime kind of made me want to play the game. So though it's definitely different to the game, I would give the point to the anime, as it is a good anime and makes you want to play the game, even without spoiling too much. Well done, I say. In Code Realize, the MC has a poisonous skin and the allies help her unravel her past and the mysteries surrounding her. The Code Realize anime decides to focus on Lupin, which I think is in general a better choice than making a harem anime, and thereby neglecting all characters. The Code Realize anime also neglects all characters except Lupin. Just by watching the anime, I would even say you wouldn't know they are even possible love interests. But sadly, the anime yet turned out to be too short to explain all the relevant story details, and thus has plot holes that make it really difficult to understand what's going on in the end without having played the game. But still spoils the whole game. Kind of an unfortunate combination. So you should definitely watch the anime after you've played the game. It was a good try, but points for the game. In Admirari no Tenbin, you kind of join a book police force with the allies who look for cursed books that make people commit suicide. Also, the anime of Admirari no Tenbin focuses on the hidden true root, which is open-ended concerning the love interest. So Tsugumi doesn't get together with either of them. And overall, romance isn't very much the focus of the game. You only really know from Hayato, Akira and Hisui that they're interested in her, but don't hear much of either Shizuru or Shogo. Yet the anime got quite positive feedback, and I also enjoyed watching it back in the days. I also remember being extremely angry and frustrating not getting together with Akira. But what feels like 10 years later, I finally accomplished that by playing the game, so no hard feelings on my side. So though it's not the best anime, I think it's a clever choice to go with the true friendship route that also exists in the game. So it does stay true to the game without favoring a specific LI. Of course, choosing the true route also comes with heavy spoilers that could potentially spoil the whole game for you. But apart from that, I've totally forgotten the ending during the last years, and I think the individual character routes are still enjoyable, even if you know the true ending. And people who watch the anime might not have the Japanese knowledge to play the game anyway. If you have the chance, definitely play the game first, but if for whatever the reason you don't intend to play the game, I think the anime is an okay way to get to know the characters, but even more the story behind the cursed books. So not the best anime, but a good adaptation in general. Points for the anime. In Hiiro no Kakera, you find out that you're part of a seal to keep demons from entering the human realm. The anime of Hiiro no Kakera also only focuses on the poster boys route, and I think that was a good choice. Throughout the anime, you definitely sometimes have the harem feeling, and overall it doesn't seem too romantic to me, except for the ending when the heroine decides for the poster boy. Thus, the anime follows Takuma's route, and I think that worked out quite well. The game, whose characters are designed by the same person who also designed Hakuouki, had kind of mixed reviews, so I wonder why they turned it into an anime, but I still enjoyed the anime, so points for the anime. In Norn 9, there are 3 heroines with each 3 respective love interests who find themselves on a spaceship and try to find their way back home to their own world and own time, and thereby discover the secrets behind this mission. The anime also chose to have 3 MCs like the game and chose one guy for every one of them, who they have actual love endings with. Kind of refreshing considering all the harem anime. You might think of the story what you like, but as an anime it worked out, I think. With a balance between romance and plot, a bit all over the place, but still, I didn't hate it. I think the adaptation was well received, and though as always I can imagine it still does not really live up to the game, I still give the point to the anime. So 7 to 5. The anime are actually catching up, because I personally prefer a more coherent storytelling and actually getting true romance in a pure romance ending of the anime compared to the harem anime. The next section of anime adaptations feel more like a common route or maybe like an introduction or teaser of the game. And this applies to the Hakuouki anime, which was well received and tells the common route of the game, but also the movies are quite liked even by people who played the games, as the movies are following the true route. And these are the only adaptations people agreed on that they are generally well done. So point to the anime. And we'll see how the live action will turn out. In Hanayaki Nari, Waga Ichizoku, you start working as a maid for rich snobs. And I was quite surprised to find out Hanayaka Nari has actually an anime adaptation, if you can call it that. It's merely 2 episodes, each 50 minutes long, that seems more like a prologue to the game, but yet feature sweet scenes how the allies relentlessly tease the MC. I mean, if you're into that. In my impression, the production standards were quite high for this movie or prologue, and I actually quite enjoyed it, and now I'm even more looking forward to playing the game. And of course, these 100 minutes can't live up to a 60-hour game, but I still appreciate what they did there. Without spoiling anything or not doing the characters justice, they successfully teased the game for me. So, point for the anime. In the Angelique or Neo-Angelique series, you kind of work to become the queen of the country with the help of the 9 guardians. There's an Angelique OVA that hinted at a love ending after 3 episodes, and to me conveyed similar feelings I had playing the Angelique Luminaries demo. The Neo-Angelique anime focuses more on the adventure side, but as I haven't played a Neo-Angelique entry, I can't really compare it to the game. Both anime adaptations are typical representatives of Otome anime adaptations, with scarce romance, but the OVA still was kind of cute. And as I haven't played an Angelique game full yet, I am bold enough to give the point to the anime. Kenka Banchou Otome is kind of a gender bender game, where you dress up as a boy to go to an all-boys kind of fighting school and have to fight your way up. The anime covers half of the common route in a very roundabout way and very short episodes, with no big plot, no romance, but on the other hand, fighting fans complain about the little action. So this adaptation is neither fish or flesh, but a very cute short watch in between, and tells a lovely story about friendship. And definitely something you can also watch with your boyfriend. And considering that the game is not overly romantic as well, though obviously more romantic than these short episodes, one could argue it's a sweet standalone anime. So I give the point to this sweet introduction of the game. In the Alice in the Country of Hearts series, you always get transported in a world like Alice in Wonderland, and there is a movie adaptation that is not understandable without the game or manga. So I didn't even bother watching it in the fear of also still spoiling some major plot points. The games are all critically acclaimed though, so point to the games. Okay, I didn't expect to suddenly enjoy so many anime. Did I just lower my standards? Or are there actually decent adaptations? Please do tell me. That brings us to the score of 8-8. And it's really a close call, so who will win? And before we get to the last game that might decide who wins this battle, here are some honorable mentions. Do you like this list so far? Then consider to like or subscribe or share, so this comparison can reach more people and I know which kind of content you like. The Ikemen Sengoku anime is a chibi adaptation with no romance but bromance and a completely different plot. The Oz Mafia anime doesn't even feature the MC and also tells a totally different story. The Obey Me anime likewise has nothing to do with the game, but features bromance at best. And the Mr. Love Queen's Choice anime is actually praised similar to the game, but as I neither have played the game nor watched the anime, you have to tell me who will win. And then there also is a Collar X Malice anime planned, and I can imagine it to turn out similar to the Code Realize anime, that they will focus on the true root. But we'll see. The last game anime adaptation is Dance with Devils. In Dance with Devils, you seem to be the key to a secret and powerful grimoire, and therefore get entangled in the fight between devils and vampires. The Dance with Devils anime is actually also a musical with 1 song per episode. Bold move if you ask me. But the game and anime were kind of published at the same time, with the anime even being a few months prior to the game. The anime kind of decided to depict Rem's route, but not entirely though. Some reviews even said they liked Rem more in the anime as he has more cute scenes. They added a triangle relationship with another character to make the conflict between vampires and devils more dramatic, but in the end the MC makes a different decision in the anime than in the game, which causes the anime to yet again have no true wholesome love ending. What is similar between game and anime though are their bloody endings. And as always, the anime spoils quite a bit. The reason I put this last is because I couldn't quite decide whether it's an anime adaptation or a game adaptation. And personally, I didn't really enjoy the anime, though it's technically a decent anime. But I still do expect more from the game. So I will very personally give the point to the game. What actually makes the games win this battle? With a 9-8 score. Who would have thought that it would be such a close call? At the beginning I could have sworn that of course all the games are better than the anime. And that this battle will be super boring because always the games will win. But here we are. But that might also be due to my lenient policy when it comes to rating the anime. And not to forget, there are also games who are based on the anime, so the exact other way around. And the one closest to my heart is the Vampire Knight anime and game adaptation. In Vampire Knight, you're kind of a guardian between the day class, the human class, and the night class, the vampire class. But of course get involved with the vampires. Who doesn't love this anime? For who was it also one of the first anime to watch? Who learned the word Yuki for snow and Korai for I'm scared in these never-ending flashbacks? Who doesn't still know the lyrics of the opening song despite not knowing a single word in Japanese? So learning this anime actually had an Otome game adaptation. I was as happy as a child on Christmas and couldn't but buy it immediately. I haven't played a lot of it, but for some reason the game felt strangely addicting to me. It captures the atmosphere of the anime quite well, and what could be better than finally romancing your favorite characters you loved in the anime? This fact alone makes me heavily biased towards the Otome game. But as a standalone game, I would say it's more on the average side, with some mini games and for the DS alright graphics and quality. So as standalone media, the anime wins. And the newest entry to the party is the Hamefura Otome game, or the My Next Life as a Villainess adaptation. In My Next Life as a Villainess, you get isekai'd in an Otome game, but as the villainess, and have to find your way to escape your certain execution or exile. In the game adaptation, you have a small after-graduation party on a boat that is hijacked by pirates. Reviews for the game have been positive, and this game seems to be made for fans, except for some gripes like not being able to romance girls, obviously for an Otome game, or that Katarina is as dense as ever, and it's hard to get into it if you don't already know the characters. So I would say it's a successful game adaptation, but that is mainly made for fans of the series. I personally would rather play the game to finally get some closure for the romance, so for me, point for the game. Gakuen K Wonderful School Days is actually based on an action supernatural shonen anime called K or K Project. And the Otome adaptation has little to nothing to do with the original anime, where you romance the heroes in a school setting, and though the characters are according to the anime, the game is a bit short and not very romantic. But considering the anime isn't romantic at all, I have to give the point to the game. And did you know the Odankoko Host Club anime has a game adaptation on the DS? In the anime, you dress up as a boy and entertain girls in a host club at your school, but meanwhile have a harem-like relationship to the other hosts. In the game, the heroine is also voiced, and the plot is practically the same, but of course this time you can romance all guys and not only the love interest that you will end up in the anime with. I have not played the game, but it doesn't look too special to me, so I will give the point to the highly praised anime. And lastly, there's also a game adaptation of Marmalade Boy on the Game Boy and Super Famicom. In Marmalade Boy, your mother moves together with another man who also has a son. And in the manga and anime, you fall in love with him. And in the Otome game, you also have two other love interests to choose from. But again, a game I won't get my hands on anytime soon, so I'll give the points to the anime. So for this section, the anime will win. What do we learn from this comparison? Lower your standards? No. But maybe kind of. Don't go into watching an anime expecting you will get the same experience and feelings like you did from the Otome game, or the other way around. These are two surprisingly different media. The anime has to decide for one route or none. You don't have the same immersion through choices or hearing the MCs in a monologue. And on top of that, anime adaptations might often suffer budget problems and of course time restrictions when they are only allowed to have 12 episodes. A 60-hour game in a 6-hour anime, obviously that can't really work out, no matter how hard you try. So in my opinion, the two kind of adaptations that still manage to keep the spirit of the game are those who either focus on the true route to make for a consistent plot at the risk, of course, of spoiling the whole game, but what would you expect? Or my personal favorite, those which are more like a long trailer for the game, or like a common route and that just leave you wanting more. But what one has to appreciate of anime adaptations, that they always try to cast the same voice actors and can also be considered kind of fan service. Also, the heroines are of course often voiced, what might be a benefit in comparison to the Otome game. And that can give them more character, though on the other hand, you don't hear her inner monologue, what also can make her seem paler. And you also get the chance to kind of enjoy unlocalized games in their anime adaptations. If your Japanese is not good enough yet, or you can see the anime as a sneak peek of whether the game would be worth to learn Japanese for. And I'm sure a lot of you found out about the Diabolik Lovers Otome game because they watched the anime. And in that regard, it's kind of sad that it's not always obvious that an anime is based on an Otome game, because that way more people would get to know the genre and get to love the genre and possibly find out there's a fabulous game to this more mediocre anime. What a shame. In this video, we made Otome Games to anime, so definitely check out the last video, how we talk about how we could turn like normal video games into Otome Games. Because there are so many attractive characters just waiting to be dated. Okay, I'm done watching anime, I'm out.